morning, everybody, whether you're on the East Coast, West Coast, or around the world. This is Coast to Coast. What's happening, gentlemen?
Good morning.
Jason decides to show
up. Good morning.
I do what I can.
So before we get into the baseball thing, let me hit the WNBA. Storm get a win last night, and there hasn't been a lot of that here in Seattle. The record would show that, being 8-31. Not a lot of games left on this season, but one of the main things from last night's game that was really encouraging to see is they finally learned how to secure a win. And what I mean by that is they like to play with pace all the time, so they're always running. And in the closing minutes, they would continue to do that, end up giving runs up and losing some of these games. 3.5 minutes to go, they actually started slowing the pace down, moving the ball, and making smart decisions. And lo and behold, a win comes out. So hopefully we see more of that. But it was nice to see that hasn't been an element in this for this team so far this year. So there we go. We got that out of the way. Now we can talk some baseball. Phillies get it.
Let's not even discuss the fact that the other team also was.
No. They're a bad team. They're a bad team.
Yeah.
The Storm are the worst team in the league. So everybody is higher in the standings than them. so every win is punching up at this point. So no, I understand their competition wasn't great. What I liked was the decision making that hasn't been there all year. And sure, they did it against a lower caliber team, but they've played bad teams this year and they still did those things. So it was nice to see some sort of growth on this team.
Yeah, that's exactly what Jason's going to be looking forward to with his Cardinals this season.
Hey, anything.
See how much growth can come.
That's right.
There was some growth in the quarterback room, at least about 8 inches, right?
There was quite a bit of growth. Yeah, absolutely.
That sounds, not compatible with a Christian station.
Not radio ready. Wrong 8 inches. Where are you this morning?
We're just talking about growing 8 inches. I don't know.
Anyways, baseball happened, and the Phillies did get a win.
Yes, and I expected that actually. Luzardo has been just pitching out of his mind.
Yeah,
and it seems that every game he's got 9 strikeouts or 8 strikeouts and stuff like that. It just the last 4 games, I think he's got 13, 9, 9, and 9 strikeouts.
Nice.
So he's been going nuts right now. Which is good because the next time that he'll go up against your Diamondbacks, which is important because I want guys that can strike out your guys. Your guys, I feel like the Diamondbacks still play small ball, and small ball teams beat the Phillies. And that's kind of how it was almost how I felt like the Mariners won game 2. Although it wasn't small ball really, it was 2 home runs that beat us, and we only scored 1 run.
I mean, what beat you guys in that game was Kirby was absolutely on fire that night. Like Kirby had a great day on the mound.
Yeah.
And the bats showed up. Like that's always helpful too. But
right.
I did like
when you score 4 runs, we score 1. It's
well, and I mean when you I did like that you guys were like, yeah, we're just not even going to throw to Cal anymore. 3 home runs in that first game and a walk. The second game, yanks that first one. You're like, yeah, and we're going to start walking you now. So
You took a fine time to start to see the ball there, Cal. But who knows? Maybe, like I said, you need that kind of spark right now. If you want to be able to make the playoffs, you need something to go right for you. So,
for sure. And weirdly, we're not out of it, despite what our record would say, because our whole division is awful.
The whole league is awful.
I mean, true.
So I mean, it's like you guys are still in the wild card standings. If I think about it,
that shouldn't be true. I mean, maybe technically, but I think we would have to.
You're 4 games out of the wild card. You're 2.5 games back from the division.
Yeah. There's only one team leaving our
division.
It's
not ridiculous.
I mean, it's ridiculous, but
it is ridiculous. But I mean, it's not out of the realm of,
it's ridiculous, just in a different way. Like the whole conference is awful.
Do you guys think you're going to beat out the Padres, Jason?
That's the hope. That's the hope. I think the Padres did some stuff at the trade deadline. They're having their players play some, big time games right now and pulling out some W's where we're having our big time players pout and go home and go to casinos to Ketel Marte. And that's really sad. That's the distraction that we don't need right now. And I don't want to spend a lot of energy on him, but it's like, he did the same thing last year coming to the All-Star break against the Cardinals, where he didn't come home. He stayed, on the East Coast where the All-Star game was, and didn't come home, and was kind of MIA. And it was a little one of those, hey, it happens. I don't know what the issue was. Maybe it was family, maybe it was some kind of emergency. Let's just give him the benefit of the doubt, right? Now it's happening again, and there was zero communication with management, zero communication with anybody. His teammates had no idea what was going on. And listen, I understand things happen, but if you guys skip out and don't communicate with management, don't communicate with your employer, don't communicate with anybody, that's not a good look. Especially when we're fighting for a playoff race, and he's, like it or not, he's the best player we have on our team, and so. But I really like what we, just did against the Cubs. It was a gritty series. We fought that out and won it. And we got a series coming up against, I think, the best team in the league, the Giants. I mean, what are they? Have they lost a game this year, the Giants? They're absolutely phenomenal. So we got a 4-game stance coming up against them. And then we have, I'm joking, they're awful. I don't think we've lost a game versus them all year. And then we got the Phillies. So, but we're going to get Ketel back. And that's going to be interesting to see how that dynamic comes in. Because believe it or not, there's some guys in that clubhouse that, want to hear something. They want some contrition. They want an apology. They want an explanation. They want something. Because frankly, they're pissed. There's some, guys, and rightfully so. They show up every single day, work their butt offs. And, for this team, for the good of the team. And here's this guy, Ketel Marte, that, quite frankly, doesn't. And it's frustrating. It's hard. If I'm ready
I know exactly how he feels. Last Thursday, I was just waiting for you to show up, and you didn't show up, and there was no call, no excuses.
Hey,
waiting here with bated breath, thinking that you were going to show up, and you didn't show.
I know.
And I was wondering, like, how this was going to play into the show today. Now I understand. It's common out there in Arizona.
I did communicate with Bo after the show. I had an alarm issue, but
he's like, "Hey, no. I'm not coming," and I'm like, "I figured that out."
Yeah. Bo put 1 and 1 together and got 3, but no, I mean,
got paid the same.
Yeah, that's right. That's
right. the check's still cleared. So
that's right. Salary job for the win.
Yeah. But no, we're hopefully that's not too much of a distraction. The day of, Ketel, that whole fiasco. I think Boston, beat us, but I think it was like they had 16 hits to our 2. It was like 11-1. It was brutal. It was bad. So obviously it's a huge distraction, but I think the guys have kind of like been like, hey, we do it with or without. We do it with the guys in the locker room, but I mean, again, you got the guys
it's
like
not as bad as 22-0.
Man,
you got teams like the Phillies, the Phillies and the Padres, right? I mean, they got players, they got guys that are showing up and showing out and playing ball at the right time, and just it's what a playoff race is all about. And once again, over in Arizona, we're showing what dumpster fires are all about.
I mean, we did have a 22-0 loss, followed 3 games later by a 19-2 loss. So we're not exactly lighting it up.
Here's the thing, though. We have the talent, though. We have the talent. Yeah. I'm sorry. We have the talent to go up against anybody. We have the talent to beat the Phillies. We have the talent to just beat. We just beat the Chicago Cubs. We just beat the Atlanta Braves. We just took the season-long series against the LA Dodgers. Have you guys ever heard of the Dodgers? We just swept the Dodgers. We just swept the Dodgers in LA.
I have been
series.
Hearing a lot about the Dodgers most recently. So yes, we've heard about that team and how that team is going to be not just the demise of themselves, but the demise of Major League Baseball.
Absolutely, and the salary cap as we know it, or lack thereof. Yeah, absolutely. But hey, listen, we're playing smart ball. We can beat everybody but the Rockies, and it's fun. It's fun. It's fun to watch. We got a very, very talented team, and we just need guys to show up.
Yeah. So, what's going on with your pitching? I feel like that you guys are going hot and cold. Is it just the 3 starting pitchers that you have, and then the other 2 just don't seem to have it as much? I mean, because it seems like that you guys are going, you're not going into hot streaks. It's like you guys win 1, lose 1, win 1, lose 1, win 1, lose 1. And although it's been equating to maybe series victories overall, you're not setting streaks where you're going like and winning 7 out of 10. It's been 5 out of 10 for a little while now.
Right. Luckily, knowing that the division is running away with it. I mean, besides the Dodgers, and again, I think it's just the talent, right? But you got Soroka just coming off an injury. His first start off an injury, did not do very well. Merrill Kelly has been up and down for years. Merrill Kelly will have stretches where he's untouchable. And then he'll have stretches where it's like, what are you doing? Right. So we have stretches in our starting pitching where it's not so, but the bullpen has really held us steady. And it's where we go awry is when all 3 phases go MIA. When starting pitch and bullpen and hitting, just we have a ball game where you guys had. Where is everybody? Right. So luckily we have not had all 3 disappear at the same time too many times this season, and we're winning series, right? It's but again, you like to have your big names, your big guys show up with big moments and not be in casinos and just not playing games. So hopefully Cassell can ease his way back and explain to the guys that he's sorry and we can at least edge out the Padres.
Yeah, Bambi in the club was just a little too much. She just had some issues that needed to get resolved, and he was the man to do it. I mean, that's that should be easy to explain to your teammates.
That's right. Doing a public service
in the off season now.
Did we lose him?
Did you hear me, Jay?
I'm sorry. Say that again. You broke up.
Happened to him? What do you think will happen to him in the off season?
Oh, I think he'll be traded. I think again, this is not the first time this has happened. This is multiple times. And then he asked for days off at just horrible times. Not last year, but 2 years ago. There were with 5 games to go. We had to win every single game. He asked for a day off. He went to Torrey and asked for a day off. Like, are you kidding me? We kind of need these wins. You're our best guy, and so addition by subtraction. I think we're going to trade him. I think he's got trade value, and I think you're going to hear the Diamondbacks handle this very, very carefully. This Kittel issue, and you're not going to hear the words distraction. You're not going to hear the word. You're not going to hear too many negative words. We're going to try to ease him back in, and we're going to try to act like nothing happened. We're going to get to the off season, and I think we're going to try to trade him because I think this team and everybody is just tired of him.
Well, and it'll be interesting to see if they can trade him before the lockout.
Mm-hmm.
And
they should trade it to the Phillies. You guys are about $100 million above. You guys are $288 million is what your cap
none
is
of
right
it's
now.
Deferred either.
And ours is 192. Well, you're not the Dodgers. But you're a good $100 million over us. So yeah, I can see you
90.
taking them.
I mean, it's actually more like 88, but that's okay. I mean, math is hard sometimes in Arizona.
I'm surprised you know math, Mr. MIT.
Hey, listen,
MIT.
I was really good at math back in the day, and
back when sunlight was a rumor.
Yeah, do it in my head.
Yeah,
because I know after everything else, more wins in the stands means that we are in the playoffs and you're not. So we can talk about this all you want. You have the Padres to get over before you worry about us.
And Rob, to answer your question here, I wouldn't mind seeing Eugenio come back. I mean, it couldn't hurt.
Well, I don't think teams like the Mariners would claim Gino. I think teams like the D-backs, which I don't think they will. We have Nolan over at third, which is hitting more home runs. I think he's at 21, and he hits for a higher average. Gino, listen, we all love Gino. Every team that Gino's ever played on loves Gino. Gino is a class act, great guy. But I believe Gino's hitting 206. So he doesn't hit for average. He doesn't hit for the power that Nolan's hitting right now. And Nolan's going to go down as one of the best third basemen of all time. So it doesn't make sense for the Diamondbacks or really the Mariners.
Weirdly, hitting, would you say 207 is an upgrade for half of our roster. So
and Nick, to answer your question, yes, the Dodgers winning or losing is irrelevant anymore. The Dodgers as a whole are part of the problem, not just with the salary cap, but with baseball in general. And the way that the owner has done all the things that he has done right now has created a big snafu in the owners camp, like in all the owners. And they are figuring out ways so that, listen, baseball is old money. It's very old money. The owners of baseball teams, a lot of these teams have owned these teams for like 30, 40, 50 years. Sure. They don't know any different because they've had the silver spoon from birth. And so, the fox hunts that these guys go on, you don't even hear about fox hunts anymore because that's an old money situation. But when they go on their fox hunts and they have guys like the owner of the Dodgers playing games like this and creating the FCC coming in and checking out all these different things, because listen, when the Dodgers start to get looked at, you can't help but have to start to look at all these other teams too.
Of course. And
it becomes a thing that nobody wants. You don't want a police officer knocking on your door to go through your stuff. And that's what the FBI or the FCC or the FTC or whoever it is going to start to do. And it's going to start to happen with all of baseball, because we happen to have, a president in there who likes to meddle. He likes to tinker in things. And that's what he's going to do. He's not just to deflect a little bit from the Dodgers because he happens to be friends with the owner. He's going to start to investigate a lot of things. And there's a lot of things are going to mean that other people's laundry is going to get seen on the line. You know what I mean? That's what's going to start to happen. And ultimately, that is not good for baseball in general, because there's a lot of old skeletons in those closets.
Well, I think more importantly, the competitive balance, right? When you have the Dodgers with the payroll they have, and they're deferring salaries, and Shohei is going to be making $1 million for the next 300 years. It's just, that's not right. And so, but at the same time, there's not a bigger Dodger hater than me. But I will say they are playing within the confines of the rules. It's not like they're cheating. They're doing what Major League Baseball is allowing them to do. They're doing what everybody wishes their franchise would do. We just don't have the money. We don't have the TV revenue. We don't have the Dodgers
but neither do they.
Exactly.
That's the problem.
They actually do have the TV revenue. They actually do have the TV revenue.
No. They have that.
Not without stealing it from other businesses.
So that's
part of the problem. He's good.
No, that's exactly why they're being investigated by the SEC and the DOJ right now, is because they were defrauding their other businesses to purchase the Dodgers.
Robbing Peter to pay Paul.
Yeah. And so you start taking money from, insurance clients, man, that becomes a very
without their knowledge, because
you
could take it from them if they know where you're taking it to.
Yeah.
So you could have had all of those insurance clients sign off on this. So you could have done this legally. You chose not to.
Yeah.
So, and I get it. Listen, you're a billionaire. You don't have to follow the rules of everyday life, because those rules don't apply to you, because you got $1 billion. And when you got $1 billion, you can hand somebody $5,000, and it means something to them enough for them to think of this problem to go away.
Yeah.
That's the simplicity of it. When you have, when you buy the Lakers for $10 million, 10 months later, $10 billion, 10 months later, you sell it to the son-in-law of the president of the United States for $12 billion. And when you go in there to the world, to the White House, and you give him a Dodgers World Series ring, with all the diamonds and such like that he gets to put in his trophy case, like he won it, like he won the World Cup, because he was right there on the stage with them for the World Cup too. You know what I mean? There's lots, to be said for what's going to be happening. The problem is that not every owner in baseball is friends with him the way that this guy is, and it's going to be a lockout either way.
Oh,
They're
yeah,
going to lock out, and
absolutely.
It's not going to be a quick one. This one's going to be painful for baseball in general. And I thought about this when they come back in 28 and everybody is all pissed off, and they don't have any of the attendance that's going on. How long will it actually take? And will it be ESPN that saves baseball enough with television contracts to be able to make sure that you're forced to watch it, because there's nothing else going on in the summer? The WNBA would be smart to be over advertising right now, because next year they could be the only game in town for the summer.
Oh, man.
Well, and it's why ESPN won't be the one to save baseball, because they even got rid of their Sunday night baseball for Women's Sports Sunday. So now Sunday night baseball is NBC, I think.
Well, that's because it's all woke over there. I mean, they're Disney, and Disney is all about, doing everything they can to.
I mean, at the same time, it's smart, because if baseball's going away, you kind of had to target some other stuff. So,
well, yeah, I mean, I get it. But
and we did talk about this the other day, Rob. Is Ohtani does have that that opt out if the team is sold, and so if the team gets sold, which is highly likely, even if it just gets traded into an entity, it's technically a sale. So then, yeah, he can opt out of his contract. I'd be curious to see what that does for the deferred money. But
these guys are all. This is all happening the way I explained it when it first came out. He's going to have to declare bankruptcy. The only way the Dodgers get sold is that they declare bankruptcy and that they wipe away all of the debt that they have, so that somebody who wants to buy them wants to carry it over. Nobody wants to carry on this amount of debt.
Sure.
Because they're going to lose because of the sale. They're going to lose a lot of the things that were given to them. The Dodgers were declaring bankruptcy before, so they were able to get this sweetheart television deal. That goes away. It doesn't get grandfathered in to a new contract with the Dodgers. That's with one entity. So they don't have to keep it on that entity. And the problem is that the entity is the owner of the Dodgers too. So this is all a problem.
I'm a Joe. I think mud wrestling is the only thing that saves this whole thing.
That's the 7th inning stretch.
Yeah. Women's mud wrestling. Yeah, no, I don't think Ohtani leaves anywhere either.
Yeah.
No, he can't. It's like he's got to stay on the West Coast. The worst case scenario is that if things fell apart so tremendously in Los Angeles, you'll see him in San Francisco.
I don't know. San Diego just sold, right? So maybe that's a thing.
Yeah, I don't know. You know why not San Diego? Because that's too military based. That's a military town, and so that's not to say that there's just not as large and a dynamic of an Asian population in San Diego in comparison to LA.
I mean, there'd become one.
San Francisco. Not that quickly. Not that quickly.
Sure.
You know what I mean? That's. I mean, I'm trying to be realistic here. You'd actually have more of a chance in Seattle, I think.
Yeah. No, you would. I mean, we wouldn't, because they wouldn't spend the money.
A better chance of him.
Yeah.
And if he really does go anywhere, I think he goes to the Mets, because, like I said,
there's a big Asian demographic in there.
Does have more money than God.
Oh.
Well, in New York?
Yeah,
no, I don't think they have any
Asian demographic.
No, that's not true. I think he would go up to New York. I think that would be the next stop for him.
Sure.
Yeah, you don't go from the Dodgers and you wouldn't go to Arizona.
Yeah.
No, for sure.
Yeah.
No, you wouldn't.
But either way, we're not gonna need to worry about it, because it won't be until 2028 that we see him in a different uniform. And it doesn't matter whether the Dodgers win or they do not.
No. Yeah. No, like the event horizon has already been crossed. So like you're heading into this black hole right now, no matter what. Like that's coming. So now the real question is do they miss part of 2028, right? 27 is going to be gone. Do they end up starting late in 28? I think that's a real possibility.
Yeah.
Well, I think it gets finally done in April, and they force spring training in like April, May in regular stadiums. You know what I mean? Then they have like 120 game season.
No, that's what I mean. Like the season would start late. Yeah.
You know, not quite as bad as COVID, but not.
We know you're a Phillies fan, Brad.
And the Dodgers suck. Yes, so I agree with that.
And to be fair, everybody on this panel is in agreement that the Dodgers suck.
Yes, we all hate the Dodgers.
And this is a fair take, Joe. And thankful for us, we here in Seattle probably don't have to worry about it as we get to October. So,
yeah, no, Joe, I'm with you. I mean, we're definitely in the hunt, as are the Phillies. So I'm watching every single game with bated breath. But man, it's nice to have football back.
Yeah.
Yeah, even though his season is going to be over after week 3.
I knew he was going to say that. I knew he was going to say that.
They're already mathematically out of it.
Hey, you know what? It's nice to see that fight again. And this reminds me, what was that? The Niners, Shanahan's first season with the Niners, I think was 2017. Went 6 games. Next year wins 4 games. Then he really takes off. But you could see what he was building over there. So, you know, hopefully we see that. I don't know what's worse, though, is seeing that or watching you have top 3 offensive line, top 3 running back, top 3 tight ends, top 3 receivers, top 3 defense, and you go absolutely nowhere. That would be tough. That would be tough. You have a quarterback that nobody wants. Not even Jalen Hurts' parents want him. So that would be tough. That would be tough.
Hold on. Last time I checked, I have a ring, actually 2, and we were in the Super Bowl in the last couple of years. You guys made the playoffs a couple of years ago, right? That was right. You guys were 1 and done in that.
2015, we made one. 2008, we went to the Super Bowl, and in 1946, Pags, check your history. Yes, you were only 35. You were only 35 in 1946. You won the whole thing.
Yeah, and then it was it 46? Oh yeah, because in 48. You guys tried to win it again, but
47, it was the next year.
It was actually 48 and 49 because the Eagles won it in 48. Again,
it was 46 and 47.
See, I knew this was coming. I was just waiting for this comment to roll through. You played in a Super Bowl?
Actually, if you look at the Super Bowl footage and you look at Cooper DeJean's touchdown and you see the guy that with the shoulder pads on, and so you could say that I was in that Super Bowl. In fact, they showed Taylor Swift and everybody booed. They showed me and everybody cheered. So as far as I know, I was there.
Yeah. So you're saying there's a lot of drunk people there? Well, listen, I'm not saying there wasn't. I'm sure there was a lot of drunk people there, but we were involved in Super Bowl 2 in 2008. It was considered one of the best Super Bowls of all time. I turned it off at the 2-minute and 37-second point when Fitz scores that touchdown. I turned it off. But yeah, it was a great game.
Yeah.
Until then.
Lost that game, right?
Until then. I don't remember. You know what?
I don't know. I feel like we won one kind of recently too. So.
You know, I will tell you, it's frustrating watching the Hard Knocks this year. It's frustrating watching the Seahawks and the way you guys do business, and just, you know, kind of what a well-oiled machine you guys are. And, you know, just kind of reminds me of, you know, we're in for the same thing as last year. You guys aren't going anywhere. Your defense, your offense, special teams. I mean, you have leadership. You know,
no, they'll be in the conversation for sure. No, I mean, you guys, like, all joking aside, you guys are in for a rough season. Like, it's like this is one of those where, like, I hate talking about moral victories, but that's what you're looking for this year. You're looking for growth.
Well, exactly. I was going to say we're looking for growth. Yep.
Because otherwise, like,
building pieces, building blocks.
I would imagine you guys are 0-6 in the division. I mean,
Well, Nick, the Niners couldn't stay healthy last year, and what happened?
Yeah.
You know, there's such a well-coached team over there. I easily could have seen any NFC West team representing the NFC in the Super Bowl, whether it be the Niners, the Rams, or the Seahawks. That's how well this division played.
Whoever won the championship game was going to win the Super Bowl.
Yep, I agree. So you know, we'll see. We'll see.
Right.
Yeah.
I do have to give a quick shout out. Listen, the backup quarterback, Tyson Bagent, signed a contract, 2 years, $10 million. And he's a backup quarterback. It's not very important. It doesn't register on the scale. However, I do know that
I like Tyson.
Really well. I know the family really well. Travis Bagent is an arm wrestler, and so I've had a chance to hang with him and interview him. At one point, Travis was telling me that the Eagles were going to draft Tyson, and that they're going to win Super Bowls. And it just so happened that the Eagles won the Super Bowl that year when he said that. So it was they didn't really have the opportunity to do that. But congratulations to that young man. You know what I mean? He's worked really hard. He is a backup quarterback, and he's been the backup quarterback now for 3 starting quarterbacks in that, like from Mitch Trubisky to I think he's the guy's on the Jets now. I don't even remember his name, to Caleb Williams. And he is, just been steadfast, and he's been doing everything he's told, and he's actually turned into a very good backup quarterback who one day may get his chance to be a starter in the NFL. But at the moment, they said he signed a $10 million contract, which is very small in the grand scheme of things. But this, like I said, he's from Westchester, and when he was doing his interview, he was talking about how his father and him are really close, and that his father didn't have running water until he was a teenager.
Yeah, very likable kid.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so the fact that he was like all very emotional when he signed it. $10 million is life altering for him and his entire family.
I would be too signing a $10 million contract.
That's big money for anybody, even Jacoby Brissett. So he's been here for 11 years.
Him and to Travis, his father. I know that they're right now. It is. They're operating on a different world right now because of just how proud I can imagine he is of his son.
Sure. Yeah. Seem like good people.
Yeah, they are. They are. I mean, listen, at one point, Travis Bagent was the best arm wrestler in the world. And if you asked him, he would tell you. You know what I mean? Like that's
sure.
He's just got that. He's one of the funniest guys that I was able to meet, and he was one of the first people recently to start making some real money arm wrestling, which is not simple to do.
He has that he has that
charisma,
that WWE
personality
to him.
Yeah.
Yes. So he doesn't arm wrestle anymore. I think he's retired from that. I mean, he still can, but he doesn't do that as much anymore. He's not in any professional status, mostly because he's taking care of his son. You know what I mean? He's with him a lot of the time, and they have, like I said, he's invested a lot of energy and time into him to make sure that he's got to make sure he does everything right, so that he was able to sign this contract. How many rookies get to sit on the bench and play backup and then don't get to re-sign at all? They just go off into the sunset and start the rest of their lives after their 4 years.
And being a career backup's not a bad thing. I mean, you talk about making really good money and being a career backup, staying in the league. That says a lot. Look at even guys like we make fun of, and I know he's the punchline to a lot of jokes, but Mitchell Trubisky, right? He's going to make a lot of money over the life of his career, and just stays around long enough to be that second, third string guy. Keeps collecting paychecks, keeps saying just relevant enough, right, to keep collecting paychecks. And at the end of the day, he's going to retire after maybe 10 years and quite a bit of money. Anybody would take that. Any one of us would take that. So, yeah,
right.
Kudos.
Yeah, just like how many another good backup? Oh, Jacoby Brissett. Yeah, he's going to be a backup for most of his career.
Jacoby is a very good backup. Absolutely.
Yeah. No, he's
not a good starter.
I mean, you could say that for Drew Lock. Like he's been great as a backup.
Yeah.
Unless when he plays the Eagles for the last 2 minutes of the game.
Then
he's Joe Montana.
Then he's phenomenal.
Never a dull moment like
that. You finally see what I was saying about DK. Well, we had a lot of time with him, so yeah.
Yeah, hey, listen, the Steelers are all excited that they may not make it over 500 for the first year, and then they were going to be like, "Oh my God, what did we do? We got rid of Tomlin. At least he was 500 plus."
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they probably are 500, right? In that division, just because everybody got fired, so there's just going to be chaos. So, I mean, I feel like that
when you get Zach Taylor's the longest tenured coach in that division, that's the Bengals head coach is the longest tenure.
And who's getting fired this year, right? Unless they go deep, they're getting fired. The GM's everybody's getting fired.
Yeah, unless Joe Burrow can stay healthy, and that's there's no way.
Yeah, you're just baiting me to try to talk to Jay and tell him that his Astros stink and that the Dallas Cowboys, who did just beat the Cardinals, by the way, in a preseason game, and everybody's talking in Dallas that because they beat the Cardinals in a preseason game that it's their year again. I got it. It's all very exciting. I know that Jerry Jones has picked them and it wagered a lot of money. I know that Mattress Mike. I know that Mattress Mike has not bet as much money on the Cowboys to win. But he does have his money on the Astros, and that I would not expect your free furniture this year.
From beating the Cardinals in a preseason game, that's wow.
Yeah, they just took care of business. It was 31 points. And I saw CeeDee Lamb catch a pass in the third quarter. I mean, that's, that just said it all right to me right there. That he is great against third string talent. Yeah,
we didn't, for some reason. And I'm one to never question coaches. I don't question LaFleur. I'm not one of those fans that think I know more, because I don't. But for whatever reason, he just decided not to play anybody. Our third string quarterback started, our fourth string quarterback ended, and it was third, fourth, fifth string throughout. Most of the guys that played from the second quarter on are going to be working at grocery stores next week and driving Ubers, and so it was tough.
Truth of the matter is that
the Cowboys. Nobody is saying it's the Cowboys year. Nobody.
Oh,
Cowboys year to do what?
You missed it earlier.
That's not true.
Earlier
some people are. Yeah.
There's a lot of media pundits that are buying into the Cowboys, and just
and again, they should be a good team, right? Like if they're 80% of what they were on offense last year.
On offense, and if they improve defensively, you're right. Right?
So if you look at their defense, that was the absolute worst. They draft 5 players for the defense. They also grab a couple of free agents. So say they go to the low 20s. That's a significant jump. You win more games, right? So
how much do you have to hit? Do you have to hit on the 100% of those picks, or is 60% enough to hit
60%. 60% is enough because the safety is absolutely going to hit. They drafted 3 edge rushers. You only need 2 of them to work. So, and it's not like they didn't have a guy anyway. And then they also brought in a corner. They need him to hit. Now, that being said, all 5 of those picks were in the first 4 rounds. So, I mean, it's not like you are, we grabbed 3 guys in the 7th or something like that. Like, these are all quality draft picks. Now, whether or not they make that, jump to the NFL, who knows, right? You never know till they start playing. But the potential's there. And then when you look at just how atrocious that defense was, it wouldn't require amazing play to be better than what they were last year. I mean, if you remember, there was a lot of passes that were caught without a defensive player on the screen. So if you're just in the neighborhood, that's a win. So I think they will be a much better team. I can't get into this whole, they're going to win the Super Bowl, standard Dallas Cowboys, we them boys crap. Like, I can't get into any of that, but they will be a good team.
I think that's a relative term. Yeah. Ugh. I think the Eagles are miles ahead of them on both sides of the ball. I mean, they're not better than the Rams. They're not better than the Seahawks, San Fran, Philly, Detroit, Green Bay.
They're not going to be. They're not going to win the Super Bowl. Like, I'm not putting them there.
Like,
I'm just
it's their year to go 500. Okay, I can get down with that.
They'll be a team that could force one of the other teams out of the playoffs. Like, they'll probably be a wild card team. I was on a Philly show that I just wanted to twist the knife a little bit, so I told them that Dallas is going to win their division. But
man, I know he doesn't believe that.
I couldn't even go out on that limb. I know. I love giving Pags the business, but I couldn't go there.
That was 100% of let me just light the fuse and watch this happen.
Yeah. You pyro, you.
The injuries that have happened to the Giants already. I mean, they've already lost a receiver. It's coming back out. It's so funny.
All injuries.
When I hear that Scadaboo is too intense for his teammates. How do you take that? How do you understand that? Like, when you see that in print, what does that mean to you?
To me, listen, this is preseason, off-season talk. We're super bored. We got to find something to run with. We have to find something to print. Once we get into the season and we start winning, all that goes away. Winning, Al Davis had a little saying, winning cures everything. It does. It does. And let me tell you something. Being around Cam, watching him play, watching clips from him from high school, watching his whole college career, and watching him just play the game of football. That kid will give you CTE if you watch him too long. It's contagious. It's so much fun to watch Cam. And, I'm sure his teammates love him. And all they got to do is start winning. Now, if they go out and you're right, if they lose, they only went 2-3 games this year. Next season, that shtick may get old, but hey, trust me, that's Cam. Cam is Cam. That's how he is. He's like that 24/7. This is not an act. He's not just putting it on. He's not just doing it for clicks and views and likes and whatever. That's Cam.
Yeah, I mean, I like him actually. I
love him. I love him.
You like when he was at the Super Bowl, it was his birthday. And I had somebody had me doing one of those card rips, and I had a card of Cam Scadaboo, and he signed it for me. An Eagles fan painted up in Eagles gear, and he signed it for me on his birthday. So I hope that I hope that he does well. You know what I mean? Like I said, I do love his energy. I think that he shouldn't be doing flips anymore. He's probably
No.
best off if he's stops with the flips and stops headbutting things. You know what I mean? I think of Gus Frerotte, when he headbutt, and next thing you know, he was out of football. So stop hitting
Yeah.
things with your head.
Maybe stop
and
running
stop
through drywall for no reason. Yeah.
Stop flipping it, and let's just play football. Let's just play football. Let's see what you got for a career, because running backs don't get to stay very long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially if you're actively.
And ultimately, I see him. Yeah, I think he starts to transition to a fullback, anyways. That it's just that's where his end goal will be in a couple years. I mean, I think that they'll utilize him now as a running back, but that he'll switch to a fullback.
Yeah.
And then that's when you
know.
bring
Is
back
he
the
big enough to do
formation.
that?
He's not big enough to be fullback. He definitely has the mentality to be fullback. He has
Sure.
an Anquan Bolden throwback mentality, but no, he's not big enough to be a fullback.
Yeah,
Nor does the NFL use fullbacks anymore.
You're starting to see rosters.
You got Kyle Juszczyk until there's a big run on fullbacks and bringing them back. And I know Dan Campbell likes to use them, and Kyle Juszczyk has been a great fullback over in San Fran. But no, I don't think Campbell will be a fullback. He's not built for it. Not to mention the ball in his hand. The kid's electric. You just got to put the ball in his hand. He was a great receiver at ASU too, catching the ball out of the backfield in the flat too. Again, just getting the ball in his hand, it would kind of be a disservice at having him at fullback, because the ball in his hand, man, the kid's just fun to watch. He's just fun to watch play football.
Yeah.
Is he from Arizona originally, or
he's from California?
Okay.
Yeah. He played high school. Yeah, ASU gave him a chance, and we got to watch him play, and man, the whole state fell in love with him. How can you not fall in love with the way this kid plays football? He runs behind his pads, to say the least. There is no wiggle. He tries to send you into the dark realm. So yeah.
Well, he did actually mention that he's realizing that he should try and miss some of those hits.
Yes. Yep. I wish he would. For
it
his
was Nick
sake.
Foles that went
For
to
his
Arizona State too, right?
Nick actually went to U of A. The hated team in Arizona.
Got you. All right. Just I wasn't sure which one he went to. I know that he's got a whole bunch of stuff in the NFL Hall of Fame. He's not there himself, but he's got a few different things there.
Yeah.
He was a Super Bowl MVP and a Pro Bowl MVP, which is no longer. There are no more Pro Bowl games.
No more Pro Bowl. Yeah. That officially got shut down, which rightfully so. It was on a Tuesday last year. Nobody saw it anyway. Nobody cared. Nobody cares about a flag football game anyway. Not when you're expecting to watch actual football. So this falling away was
where they should have gone different. They should have made it a poker game. Play poker. Watch these football players play poker.
There you go.
I guess that would fall into the gambling thing. So who knows how that would work, but
yeah, that wouldn't work. But if you like gambling, my Pick'em show is going to be at Angel of the Winds. They did pick my show up, so I'm going to be broadcasting my Pick'em show each week from the middle of their sports book. So if you're in the Pacific Northwest, come hang out. You can watch the show live, and then we'll watch Thursday Night Football. We'll be up there tonight actually doing a dry run of how to film in that space. So there we go. How about that? Appreciate you, Joe. Yeah. So yeah, no, that was pretty cool.
Yeah, it's always good when you get picked up, when the show gets picked up and people are saying, hey, we're not going to pay you to definitely do your show here.
Yeah. Well, fortunately, it's not that bad, but
there you go.
So
hey, we're going to advertise for you to let you know that your show is, one that we want here, which is going to be nice. Hey, listen, I'm all excited for you. I'll get to be a guest on that show on occasion, so you will see some Philly picks. And listen, I got a bet right yesterday.
wow,
I said that Luzardo.
It shocked you?
A little bit. Well, especially because I pushed it. It was like I said Luzardo was going to get 9 strikeouts, and he did wind up getting 9 strikeouts.
Wow.
So I bet 8.5 plus 8.5. So or minus 8.5. Like he needed to get above 8.5 strikeouts, and the normal line was 7.5, and I pushed it to get the better odds. And he took care of me.
Yeah. Nice.
I was very excited about that. So thank you there, Luzardo. It's better than betting that Harper's going to walk, because that's what I normally bet, that Harper's going to walk, and he normally does.
That's a safe one. That's a safe bet.
Yeah. Everything else is tough. Like every time I think somebody's going to get an RBI, it's usually the guy that's behind him that gets the RBI.
See, I'd be throwing some money on a Cal strikeout. Not against Phillies.
No, see, you would have actually probably be listed as a 1.5 over 1.5 strikeouts for
which I still would take those. I would still take those odds. Yeah.
Right.
He typically has 2 a game. So
I don't know. I'd be willing to bet right now, especially since he's on a little bit of a streak, that you could bet him the other way. That right for this minute he's seeing the ball, and you don't know how long that's going to last.
It might have just been those 2 games.
Yeah, I've watched them all season. I don't think so.
I mean, if there was ever
game 3, though, right? He didn't play game in game 3.
Actually, I'm not sure if he was in the lineup. I was at the
he's having a rough season.
So, he's going to wind up with his 20 home runs, though, back to like what his normal was. A third of production from last year, but he's been hurt most of the season. So,
oh, nice. Rob's going to come up. Let's go.
Look at Rob making things happen, and and that's 2 Sundays or 2 Wednesdays from now, Rob. So don't worry about that. And listen, tonight, well, I'm not sure what time it's going to happen for you guys, but definitely look out at the moon. I guess somewhere around 10 o'clock or 9 o'clock your time, 9:15 your time. The lunar eclipse is happening today. The first one to the last one to happen. Next one's going to be in late 2028.
Okay.
So definitely
check that out.
Yeah.
Look while you can. I think you guys get 70% of that vision because it happens kind of late for you guys. We get 100. We get like 96% of that.
I got you. Yeah, I filmed it. I don't know, a handful of years ago now. It was probably 5 years ago. Watching it turn red is pretty cool.
Yes.
So that's pretty neat. And then we actually have so much smoke in the air from the wildfires. It's probably going to be super red.
Right.
That being said, we do got to get out of here. If you are watching on all the platforms, be sure to like and subscribe. And of course, if you're listening on 97.3 Smooth Jazz, got some, we got some of that. So coming your way. All right, we're going to get out of here. Take it easy, everybody.
Peace.